This video is going to show you how to teach your horse how to play, specifically with a ball, but you could sub in any other object here. So this horse is fairly timid, and so I'm presenting the ball outside his stall so he can decide if he wants to engage or not. This is a really good way to start out because a lot of times new objects like this can be scary and you don't want to overwhelm them. You want it to be their choice for them to engage with the object. So I'm just kind of holding it where he can touch it, and anytime he touches it, I click and reward. And we have done this several times. If I was just starting out, I would only do this portion and then take a break and do the next part the next day. But since he's already been through this, I'm gonna go ahead and put the halter on and pull him out into the barn aisle. Again, I'm kind of letting him choose if he wants to approach the ball. I'm not coaxing him towards it. If you have a horse that's really timid and doesn't even want to engage over the stall door, you would just have to try introducing it to them and maybe giving them treats away from it, just to let them know that the presence of the ball is a good thing. So I'm letting him engage as he feels ready. And again, this is not our first session, even though he's still kind of timid with it. He knows that the ball isn't that scary. It used to really freak him out when it would roll back towards him, but you can see there he kicked it. And so now I'm gonna move on. Again, if this was his first session, I would have stopped earlier, but since he has done this several times, I'm gonna keep going to the next part, which is letting them play at liberty. So I've taken his halter off and presented him with the ball, and he kicked it, and so I clicked and rewarded. So I'm basically just clicking and rewarding anytime he decides to kick the ball. Once I get him kind of reliably following it and kicking it, I can get a little pickier, and I can only click when he kicks it forward or kicks it and then goes after it again. But right now his thing that he's doing is he'll kick it and let it roll away, and then he stops and waits. I'm trying not to be too close to him or be really staring at him because I want him to feel comfortable just kind of experimenting and doing whatever he wants. With a session like this, and particularly if you're trying to get them to play, there are no wrong answers. So you're only rewarding things you like, and everything else you're just kind of patiently waiting for them to do what you want. And in this case, what I want is just for him to engage in the ball, be curious, and I'm just rewarding anytime he's brave. Believe it or not, this is a huge step for him. Anytime the ball would move after he would touch it, he used to get really freaked out and he would walk away and just go graze and ignore the ball for a while. So the fact that he's staying this engaged is really good. You'll see some horses on YouTube who are just going crazy chasing the ball, and we can eventually get there, but sometimes a horse isn't naturally wanting to chase and attack things. So this is kind of where it starts. You'll see later I have a clip of my other horse who is chasing a bag, and this is something that I'm also working on with Rocco here, but he's just not as interested as Finnick is. So you'll see here I have a bag on a string. I also call this a giant cat toy, and he is super engaged. Finnick acts about like Rocco with the ball, but this toy he absolutely loves. Rocco will play with the bag some, but he's not really as interested. The ball has been the thing he's been the most engaged with, so I've been going with that for him. I really value play with my horses because I feel like it gives them a way to have somewhat of a creative outlet without feeling like they're going to get punished. It allows them to rely on some of their natural instincts, and it allows them to be expressive, and it's also just kind of a fun way to interact with your horse in a way that's maybe not as regimented as if you were riding. So with the bag, I basically did the same process as I did with the ball. For Finnick, it took him maybe 2 or 3 sessions before he was ready to just attack it like he is here. With Rocco, he'll follow it a few steps and paw at it a few times, but that's about where we are. But that's kind of his personality too. So sometimes it just depends on the personality of your horse. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook, both at Musgrave Equestrian. And feel free to drop a comment for other training things you'd like me to cover. Thanks!